Hi, I'm Sean Asmussen, and welcome to this presentation of WYScale. The first thing to keep in mind here is common sense, but just in case you forward this video on to someone with not as much of that as you have, let me just be clear about the disclaimer here. I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of this financial advice. Likewise, there are no guarantees with anything in this space. When it comes to cryptos, everything should be considered extremely risky. And in my opinion, and probably in many people's opinion, never invest any more than you're prepared to lose 100% of. Now that we have covered the common sense part, let's get on with it. The first thing to cover is who is WYScale? Well, WYScale is the DeFi project of a blockchain called WYSETH Chain, WYZ or WYZ. The best way I can explain this is take you back to the beginning. WYSeScan first started on Tron. Tron is the TRC20 network. Now, if we go and search the actual token address of YZ on Tron, going way back when they started, we will see that their very, very first transaction took place way back on the 14th of January 2022. So this is when they started as a blockchain. This is when they went live. If we go up and have a look here at the start, it said that YZ, the TRC20, has been migrating over to their own independent layer 1 blockchain, which is YZ chain or Y chain. If we then jump over to ysethscan.org, we will see this is their own blockchain explorer. You will see some things here that are very, very relevant and is a huge advantage when it comes to the YZ chain. So far, they've had 40 million transactions. They've had 4.8 million blocks. And if you were to actually calculate this, you'd be able to work out that each block is only 12 seconds. And if you were to calculate the time, you will be able to see exactly how long these guys have been online. But that was, of course, established when we looked at the migration from the Tron blockchain over to their own blockchain, which was around the 15th of January 2022. So we can see that they've been online for some time, which is good, several years. And one of the great advantages of the YSETH chain is the speed of their transactions and the price of their transactions and the integrity, as in the safety of their transactions. Let's click into one of the most recent transactions in this blockchain. Bear in mind that these blocks are only 12 seconds long. So here we will have a look and we will see that the transaction fee was 0.10021 YZ tokens. That was the cost of the transaction. Let me put this into perspective. If we go into coinmarketcap.com and we have a look at the current Ethereum gas price, this is the expense of making a transaction. We're looking at 9 GWI. Now, 9 giga V is 9/1 billionth of 1 Ethereum. That is the price. Now, this price has gone up to very, very high figures during bull markets. It's not unusual to see it go 30, 50, 100, and there even is a case where it went up over 2,000 giga V for one transaction. In other words, hundreds of dollars for a transaction. Now, if you look at that 9 giga V transaction fee here, and if we have a look here, we're talking 0.501 giga V. That means that we are 100,000 times less or more. In other words, cheap transaction fees and very, very fast. Speed, transaction, and safety is the number one thing with a YSETH blockchain. The YSETH blockchain, which is a layer 1, is also being added to the Ethereum library, and this is a really big deal. YSETH blockchain is becoming a layer 2 for Ethereum and is also working on becoming a layer 2 for Bitcoin. Let's jump into Ethereum library and see what that is. Ethereum library is basically the who's who of who Ethereum chooses to work with in order to speed up their network. Ethereum is actually painfully slow. To hear about 10 transactions per second on Ethereum is not all that uncommon. It's only because of people or companies like this that are speeding up Ethereum with layer 2, such as Optimism, Matic, Polygon, Arbitrum, and down here there is a spot vacant for WYScale chain. WYScale chain have got the negotiations and approval in place to become the, I believe, 23rd name on this list of who's who in Ethereum library. The WYScale blockchain is a proof of authority layer 1 blockchain, and we also go into proof of staked authority. What does this mean? The staked authority and the authority in itself is a safety thing. So what we're dealing with here is rapid transactions, 12-second blocks, not 10 minutes like Bitcoin, but 12 seconds. It's extremely energy efficient and eco-friendly, very low transaction fees, and extremely safe. Back to WYScale, and there is an opportunity to add to their liquidity pools, which we refer to as crypto farming. Why would you want to do this? What you do is simply buy their WYS token, which is their DeFi token, WYScale. You stake it, lock it into the liquidity pool, and you get paid a monthly reward for that. These monthly rewards can go up to 11.11% return per month. It's important to know that you're not getting paid in fiat currency or USDT, but you're actually getting paid in the WYScale token. This WYScale token can be sold currently on the xt.com exchange and soon many more exchanges. The tokenomics of WYScale is that there is a total supply of 40 million tokens. That's all there will ever be. There's an allocation of farm minting of 9 million tokens and a total of 27.8 million tokens in harvesting rewards. The harvesting rewards is what you and I make when we stake our tokens. This is released over 6 years with a quarterly mining amount of 1.67 million tokens every 3 months for 6 years. Let's have a look at these pools. First, let's start with pool 1. In order to farm WYScale tokens in this pool 1, there's an allocation of 4 million tokens, which is a 44% allocation of the total farming, being 9 million in total. There's an upper limit to how much can be contributed into this per person, but also in total, so that they cannot exceed their total allocation of how much their tokenomics are, being the full 40 million tokens. The minimum you can stake here is 1 WYScale token, and the maximum is 5,000 WYScale tokens. It's worth noting that at the time of this presentation, 1 WYScale token is around about $20. That will, of course, change with supply and demand. So you will see in this particular pool, you'll be able to deposit WYScale tokens, which you can buy on xt.com currently and soon other exchanges. There's going to be a maximum of 2 million tokens in this pool, and the passive rewards are 3.75% per month. This is literally paid out live. There's also an extra reward paid out of 4.58% for promoters, meaning that if you are recommending this project to other people and refer them, there is a bonus reward that you get paid every month as well. So it's worth maybe recommending this to people if you find it to be a good thing. So how does that work? Let's say you stake 1 token in here and you lock it away for 24 months. You're going to get a total of 2 extra tokens over 24 months, and those are WYScale tokens. After 24 months, you will get your initial token back. In other words, put 1 in, you'll end up with 3. Over 24 months, you get paid in WYScale tokens, meaning that if the WYScale token is worth $20 or $50 or $10, that is the amount that you have. If you keep the WYScale token, then of course you're keeping the upside potential on that if you hang on to it, if you're bullish on where this is going. There is also a 36-month option, which is the one that I always recommend to people because it pays out much more. You get 4.55% per month. Or if you are actually referring people, you'll get 11.11% per month. You'll get a maximum 4 times more of your tokens, meaning that you lock one token away for 36 months and you will get 4 tokens over 36 months as well as your original token back. This is all paid in WYScale tokens, and it can be taken out immediately and sold on xt.com or whichever exchange is buying and selling those at the time. Here is an example of what your potential return would be if the exchange rate is, let's say, $17 of a WYScale token at the time you deposit it. If you leave it in for 24 months, it will be this much. And if you put it in for 36 months, it will be this much. That is based on 100 tokens. Of course, you could do it with one. If the price went up to $100 over that time, or if you started at 100, this is what your return would be. The maximum you can put in is 5,000 WYScale tokens, and these are the equivalent returns. Of course, they're all potential and there are no guarantees. But these are the mathematical possibilities of the returns. Then there's a second pool. This one is WYScale and Arbitrum. Here we have a smaller allocation. 300,000 WYScale tokens can be put into this pool and 700,000 can be put into this pool. But now we have got a mixture of WYScale and Arbitrum. So why do they do this? Why are we mixing WYScale with Arbitrum? Well, what this does is it provides a liquidity pool for the business, for WYSETH blockchain. The Arbitrum itself might go up more in value than WYScale does. And if that's the case, this is sort of ensuring the value of WYScale because it draws the liquidity pool value up and actually would enable users to take out their WYScale and Arbitrum and sell them and end up with a profit, even though one of them has gone down. This can be a little bit complex to beginners in this field, but you will see there's a lot of DeFi projects. Ethereum, Tron, Arbitrum, even Binance BNB have got liquidity pools, and it's a bit like having money in the bank securing the company. There's a third pool, WYScale and BNB. Again, we got similar allocations. And you will see this is another way that we're providing a liquidity pool to secure the company and its value going in through this bull market. It is worth noting that there is a transaction fee on WYScale peer-to-peer transactions that I have personally noticed up to 1% of the transaction fees gets randomly burned to decrease the token supply. Up to 1% means a random number between 0 and 1. We never know how much it is. It could be 0.01, it could be 1%. But it's worth noticing that if you send one WYScale token between one MetaMask wallet and another, that is going to arrive slightly less than 1. So if I transfer one WYScale token, I would transfer 1.02 for that reason. This is actually a feature that is in place in order to reduce the supply of WYScale gradually, and that is a way to actually increase the value of the token over time. Before I jump into the compensation structure, for those of you who want to refer WYScale to other people, let's just have a little bit of a look back at the WYSETH blockchain. So here I am on WYSETHlab.com, and here you will be able to see how this blockchain is performing right now. It's had over 35 million transactions. Bear in mind that it's a fairly new blockchain. It's only a couple of years old. It's had 7,300 transactions per second at its peak. Bear in mind Ethereum is about 10 right? Of course, 10, there's a lot more than 10 per second with Ethereum because of their layer 2 applications, which YC Lab will be. However, compare 10 per second with 7,300 per second. That's a lot. Currently, 800,000 monthly active users, 121 validator nodes, and 485 nodes. These are all small numbers here, and the amount of transactions is relatively small compared to some of the very, very established blockchains out there. But this will give you an idea about just how established this actually is right now. Because when YC's chain goes on Ethereum library and becomes part of this with Optimism, Arbitrum, you will see that this will become more of a blockchain household name. For those of you who are a little bit more geeky, you can go on github.com, YC Labs, and have a look, and you will see that their code, everything that you need to know that these guys are legit, is actually here. You can see that WYScale is a genuine DeFi project. You can see the credibility of YC chain, their blockchain, what they're doing, their plans to be a layer 2 application for Ethereum, which is a big deal. Them going on to Ethereum library, which is a real big deal. And something I haven't even mentioned, but I'll give it a little footnote here, is their foray into shared mining, which is a proof of work concept involved with the Bitcoin blockchain, which allows these guys to be able to go in and help Bitcoin speed up, which not many are doing. And it's done in a way where their proof of work concept, which is very, very energy consuming, allowing other blockchains to mine at the same time as Bitcoin miners are without any additional energy being spent. So we're dealing with some pretty state-of-the-art stuff. Now let's have a look at the compensation plan. The concept here with YScale is really simple. You stake a minimum of one YScale token, which may be $20, it may be more, it may be less. One token makes you active. That's the premise of the entire compensation structure. So let's say we have you here, you have staked one token or more. You refer anyone in on a uni-level structure, meaning that everyone that you refer into this go on one line straight under you. Uni level, one level, that's it. Anyone you refer, you will get 10% match on whatever they contribute. If they put one YScale token in and stake it, you will get 0.1 YScale in direct commission immediately into your dashboard there and then. If they go and reinvest or invest more into this, or they restake their earnings, you will keep getting 10% of whatever they put in. This is, of course, paid in YScale token. This is already budgeted in the tokenomics, which I went through, that showed that they got a maximum of 40 million tokens. The structure goes 15 levels deep, and I'll show you how we can extend it to 20 levels later. It's a total of 13% being paid in commissions, and these commissions start with 10% on level 1, 5% on level 2, level 3 to 5 will pay 1%, level 6 to 15 will pay 0.5%. What does this mean? So if Joe comes in and you refer Joe in, and Joe was to put 100 YScale into the staking as an example, 10 YScale tokens would get paid as a referral fee to you, and then the person that referred you would get 5%, and the people in level 3 and 5 above you would get 1%, 6 to 15 will get 0.5%. So we'll literally pay 15 levels up, a total of 13%. But the beauty is that you do not need to refer anyone for this to be of great rewards to you. You can just simply stake. And that's what I like about this project. But if you choose to refer people, there are some incredibly great rewards here that are all factored into the tokenomics. There are rank bonuses, and these rank bonuses will pay you a 2% one-time bonus when you reach these ranks. In order to qualify for these ranks, you can count a maximum of 70% of your volume from one leg and then 30% from the rest of your legs. In other words, you've got one massive leg, you can count 70%, and then the rest will make up the balance. These are the various ranks that you can achieve in WYScale's compensation structure, from bronze up to diamond. And it's simply based on the team business, meaning how many WYScale tokens are staked at any one time. If you have 500 WYScale tokens staked in your entire downline, well then you will get a one-time 2% bonus, being 10 WYScale tokens. If those tokens are worth $20 each, that would be $200. Silver, 1,000, and so on. Sapphire is a significant one at 25,000 WYScale tokens staked in your entire downline, and you will get a bonus of 300 WYScale tokens, one-time bonus. The other thing is that when you reach Sapphire, it will also unlock levels 16 to 20 in your uni level with a further 0.5% commission on each level. And here are the numbers to back that up. There's also a global pool bonus for those of you who actually plan to refer people in here and bring leaders on board and so on and get a big business. If you get more than 10,000 WYScale staked in your entire business, not just yourself, we're talking about your team business, then 1% of all the global volume will be shared out to the people who are in this pool. Let me give an example. Let's say there is 1 million WYScale tokens in the business being staked. 1% of that will be shared out to the entire global pool. Who is in that? If there's one person in this global pool, 1% of 1 million is 10,000 WYScale. It means that that 10,000 will get paid out to the one person that's in the pool. But if there are 10,000 people in the pool, then they would all get one WYScale token each. That's how it works. There's also another pool that if you've got over 50,000 WYScale tokens staked in your entire business, being your team, then there is 1.5% here that gets divided out amongst the few or the many who are in this pool. So what does this mean? It means that if you're the first person to get here, you're going to get the entire pool each month. And once the second person gets there, then you will share and get 50% of that pool every month. So for those of you who do want to build big, this is incredibly significant. These are probably some of the most important numbers in the compensation structure. If you have signed up one person with your referral link, they've gone directly under you, then you will unlock 3 levels of the compensation structure, meaning that you're going to earn 10%, 5%, and 2% on those 3 levels. If you refer 3 people directly under you, which is the only place you can refer someone is directly under you, then you will unlock 6 levels. If you refer 5 people, you will unlock 10 levels. 7 people will unlock 15 levels, and 10 people will unlock 20 levels, bearing in mind that you also need to reach Sapphire to unlock level 16 to 20. So what does this mean? This is incredibly significant because if you want to unlock the entire compensation structure in the WYScale compensation plan, all you need is to directly refer 10 people who in turn stake 1 WYScale token each. After that, you just need the volume of people coming in and how much is being staked. You will not find a simpler compensation structure than this. This also ties in with the flash loans, and I will talk about this in a moment. What are the benefits of farming? One, why is the company doing this? Well, YSETH blockchain have got their WYScale DeFi side, which has got a lot more going to it than just staking. But we're just talking staking here today. The staking gives them liquidity pools. It gives them security and longevity in the blockchain field, because the more funds and value that is locked up in staking, the more secure the whole network is. When people can see that a company has got millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions locked away, then it gives more credibility and security for the future, and more are going to use it. When you look at the WYScale blockchain, there are plans that I've been told of that I'm allowed to share, of allowing the Indian government, the Nepalese government, the Sri Lankan government, and the Indonesian government to use the WYScale blockchain gratis, meaning that they will be able to use the blockchain at no charge for all their government services. And we're talking 1.5 billion people plus of those governments that could be coming in, flooding in to this blockchain. That is incredibly significant. This is not a done thing. This is all in the planning. I've personally met with the founder, the CEO of this company. I got to eyeball him for 4 days while I was there with my business partner and their people. Got to see how genuine these people are and the legacy that they're wanting to put on the blockchain industry. Needless to say, I'm incredibly excited. And maybe one of the reasons why you're here is the flash loans arbitrage. And of course, that is something that I can't give you much detail on right now because of the early days that I'm recording this presentation, but I will hopefully be able to give you much more details on that as we go forward. Of course, I will be able to do that. The one thing I can say is this: by staking a minimum of one WYScale token in this project, you are positioning yourself to be ready for the arbitrage flash loans. You got an outlay of potentially 20 USD, and that is your potential risk in this project. You're staking a token that potentially is going to go up in value by a respectable amount. That is your risk in this project. I don't think there's room for many questions here. At the end of the day, we are pioneering something that has got incredible upside. The staking here is perhaps the least exciting part about this project, but the most important part about it is what does the staking unlock for you. It's like getting the ticket that unlocks the opportunities, that gets you in to the company, gets you into their whole barrage of opportunities that are coming. And flash loans right now is one of those, just one of those. So to me, it's go and stake one WYScale minimum. If you want to put more in, that's up to you. Have a talk to the person that referred you here, get their referral link, go to YouTube and go through the tutorials on how to set up your MetaMask if you need to set one up, and how to do the entire sign up process as well. And these links can be provided to you by your referrer. So that's all from me. I'm Sean Rasmussen. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again in another video. Welcome to the team.